Hello everyone, welcome to Miss Lee's class. Today we're going to learn how to divide fractions. Okay, I want you to look at the warm-up question. Look at the first one. We have 3 over 4 divided by 1 over 4. Okay, let's use a model to solve the question. 3 over 4, you have a chocolate bar and break that into 4 pieces and shade 3. That's 3 over 4. And we're going to find out 1 over 4, which is this, goes into 3 over 4 how many times? So this is 3 over 4 and this is 1 over 4. So everyone, this goes into this how many times? That is 1, 2, 3 times. So the answer is 3. So 3 over 4 divided by 1 over 4 is 3. So when the denominator is the same, we can just simply do 3 divided by 1. So we just ignore the denominator. We think about 1 goes into 3 how many times? So 1 goes into 3 how many times? Which is 3. So 3 over 1. That is 3. Next question. 2 over 3. 2/3 divided by 1/3. Okay, everyone. Same denominator. Again, 2/3 is this. And 1/3 is this. So we're going to figure out 1 goes into 2/3 how many times? So how many times, everyone? That is twice, right? So 1/3 goes into 2/3 twice. So the answer is 2. So 2 divided by 1. So we just do 2 divided by 1. Everyone, division bar is the same as division. Okay? 2 division bar 1 equals 2. Next one, same denominator. Again, let's just do it quickly without drawing a model. 8 divided by 2. What's 8 divided by 2? So the answer is 8 over 2, 4. So 8 over 2 is, 8 divided by 2 is 4. Alright? Next one. They have a different denominator. So this is 3 and this is 6. So we have to match the denominator to solve the problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 2. So common denominator. Let's make a common denominator. So 2 times 2 becomes 4. And 3 times 2 becomes 6. Okay? Now they have the same denominator. We just look at the top, the numerator. 4 over 1, which is 4. Again, they have a different denominator. So we're going to make the common denominator times by one number. 6 and 6. Then it becomes 6 over 12. And we ignore the denominator. We look at the numerators. That is 6 over 1. The answer is 6. This one. Different denominator. One number would you multiply here? You multiply 2. Then it becomes 6 over 8. The same denominator. We just look at the numerator. 6 over 6 divided by 3. What's 6 divided by 3? 3 goes into 6 twice. So the answer is 2. So this is how you divide fraction. So this is the first method. And we're going to learn the second method later, but the first method is using common denominator. So when you have a different denominator, you make common denominator by multiplying a number. Here we get 8 over 10 divided by 1 over 10. Then ignore the denominator and 8 over 1, and the answer becomes 8. Alright, everyone. Next question. So example 1. So I want you to pause the video and try example 1 by yourself using common denominator. Go ahead, everyone. All right, everyone, let's do it together. So we're going to make a common denominator, 4 and 6. So what's the common denominator? Let's use, well, we can use 12 or 24. So there are two methods. So let's use 12 first. So we can just multiply 3 and 2. So 3 and 3 and 2 and 2. Then that becomes 9 over 12 divided by 10 over 12. And ignore the denominator. What we get is 9 over 10. So this is the answer. 9 over 10 is the answer. Or everyone, we can just simply multiply 6 to 4 and 3. And we multiply 4 to 6 and 5. Then we get 6 times 3, 18. 6 times 4, 24. Divided by 20 over 24. Then that is 18 over 20. So the answer is 18 over 20, but we always need to reduce the fraction by dividing by the same number. So here 9 over 10 will be the answer. Either way, you get the same answer. Okay? Next question. So the denominator, common denominator. Let's use common denominator 8. So we have 7 over 8 divided by 2 over 8. We ignore the denominator and we just look at the numerator. So that is 7 over 7 divided by 2. And let's change this to a mixed number. 7 divided by 2. 2 goes into 7 3 times. We have 6 here, and the remainder is 1. So 3 and 1 over 2 will be the answer. Next. 3 over 5 divided by 1 over 4. Times it by 4. Times it by 5. Then 12 over 20 divided by 5 over 20. Okay, again, ignore the denominator. We just take the numerator, 12 over 5. And let's change it to a mixed number. 5 goes into 12 twice. And the remainder will be 2. And the denominator, keep the denominator. If this is confused, if you cannot do it using mental math, just use division. 5 goes into 12 twice. The remainder is 2. Okay? Alright, let's move on. As I said, there's a second method. So the method called keep, change, flip. Okay? So remember, keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. So dividing fraction, we can use keep, change, flip method. So the first method was called common denominator method, and second method is called keep, change, flip. So first step 1, keep the first fraction the same. So we're just going to keep the first fraction the same. Okay? So keep the first fraction. Change the division sign to a multiplication sign. So we're going to change this to a multiplication. You see, I just changed division to multiplication. And flip. Flip the second fraction over to right, the reciprocal. Reciprocal is just so you can just flip the fraction, bottom and top. So 4 over 5 becomes 5 over 4. Now, instead of division, we have multiplication. Is that right? So we can just simply multiply it. We know how to multiply fraction. We learned that, right? 1 times 5. 1 times 5 becomes 5. 3 times 4 becomes 12. So the answer is 5 over 12. So the answer for the division is 5 over 12. Okay? So keep, change, flip method. Okay, example 2. Let's do it together. Keep, change. 4 over 3 becomes 3 over 4. Keep, change flip. And the division became a multiplication. So we do 1 times 3, we multiply the numerators together, and we multiply the denominators together. See if it is the lowest term. If it is the lowest term, that's the answer, 3 over 8. 3 over 8 is the lowest term. Next, now I want you to pause the video and try this question using the keep, change, flip method. Go ahead, everyone. Alright, let's do it together. 7 over 10. Keep the first number. Change the middle, change the sign. And flip the next number, the second number. Okay, so let's multiply. 7 times 5, 35. 10 times 4, 40. So is this divisible by any number, 35 and 40? Can we reduce it? Yes, we can, by 5. Then that is 7 over 8. Or we could reduce it in the process of multiplication. So 10 and 5. Let's divide both numbers by 5. Then 7 times 1 is 7. 2 times 4 is 8. 7 over 8. Either way, you get the same number. Right? Next, keep, change, flip. 6 times 2, 12. 7 times 1, 7. Okay, let's change this to a mixed number. So 7 goes into 12 once, and the remainder is 5. Okay, 1 and 5 over 7 is the answer. Alright, everyone, that is it. And before we finish everything, I'm just going to go back to example 1. And I'm gonna let you know how to estimate to check each quotient is reasonable. Okay, everyone. 3 over 4. So 3 out of 4. And we're gonna divide it by 5 over 6. So everyone, 3 over 4 is almost 1 if you estimate it. Divided by 5 over 6. If you have 5 out of 6, that is almost 1. So 1 divided by 1 is just 1. Right? So see if you get the similar number. 9 out of 10. That is almost 1. So we can check that we got a correct answer. 7 over 8. That is 1. So you're dividing 1 by a quarter. And quarter goes into 1 4 times. See if your answer is almost 4. Here, 3.5. It's almost 4, right? And this one. 3 over 5. And 1 over 4. 3 over 5 is a little more than a half. And it's a quarter. So say this is a little more than a half. And this is a quarter. And quarter goes into half, like twice. But it's a little more than a half. It should be a little bit more than twice. Then here, 2 and 2 over 5. A little bit more than the twice. Okay, so this is how you check roughly. Well, it's not very accurate, but you can check your answer roughly by estimating. Okay, everyone? And you can use the same method to check your answer for example 1. Just do it by yourself. Alright, everyone? Okay, so that's it. Have a nice day, everyone.